Within minutes, chaos. Because gravity doesn't just keep you on the ground, it holds the planet together. Without it, everything that is tightly bound by electromagnetic or nuclear forces begins to drift apart. Soil starts to scatter like dust in the wind. The oceans to 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of water slowly peel off the surface like a massive, shimmering skin. From space, it looks like the planet is crying in slow motion, a blue tear rising upward into the void. Buildings don't fall, they unfold. Steel beams, bricks, and glass panels drift away piece by piece. Within an hour, Earth's surface resembles a slow explosion in reverse, everything expanding outward, elegantly, endlessly. People try to grab whatever's near, fences, poles, trees, but those are rising too. Your best chance: find a solid object and tie yourself down. But even ropes begin to unravel. You're not standing anymore. You're floating in the sky, staring down at the spinning planet below, and realizing something terrifying. Gravity wasn't just pulling things down. It was holding everything together. The sky becomes the ocean, hours pass. The air itself begins to escape. Normally, our atmosphere clings to Earth because of gravity. Without it, oxygen and nitrogen drift outward, forming a thin, expanding cloud around the planet. The blue fades from the sky. You look up, or maybe down, directions don't matter anymore, and the stars are brighter than ever. Beautiful, right? Except now you can't breathe. People use oxygen tanks for a while, but eventually, the air thins to nothing. Cities float silently in the void, frozen mid-chaos. A surreal sculpture of a civilization that forgot how fragile it was. The oceans? They've turned into enormous globes of water drifting alongside fragments of continents. Imagine Earth, surrounded by bubbles, each one a sea, a memory of where gravity used to be. Cosmic loneliness days later, if days even exist anymore. The moon is gone too. It's no longer orbiting Earth. Without gravity, it just keeps going in a straight line. The tides vanish. The night loses its rhythm. And the sun? The Earth isn't orbiting it anymore either. We start drifting off into the cold void. Temperature drops, sunlight fades, and within weeks, the planet becomes a frozen relic. A crystal of everything that was once alive. But maybe, just maybe, some people survived. Clinging to chunks of rock, fragments of buildings drifting together in silent clusters. You'd look out and see other survivors floating nearby, close enough to see their faces, too far to reach them. You'd wave, but no one can move toward anyone else, because there's no down, no up, no together. And that's when it hits you. Gravity wasn't our enemy. It was our most loyal friend. The lesson in the void: it kept your feet on the ground. It made water flow, clouds fall, hearts beat, and planets dance around stars. It made the universe structured instead of just dust. Without it, there's no life, no warmth, no rhythm. Gravity gave us weight, not just physical, but emotional. It grounded us. It made us belong to something bigger, a world, a sky, a home. Now, as you drift through the endless night, the stars aren't cold points anymore, they're memories. Of a time when falling asleep meant falling toward something. You stretch your hand toward where the Earth used to be, but there's nothing there. Just space. Quiet, infinite, indifferent. And if you could think one last thought, it would be this. Maybe we didn't appreciate the pull, the way the universe kept us close. Because without gravity we didn't just lose our balance. We lost our connection. What if gravity disappeared? Imagine this. You wake up and your bed isn't under you anymore. Because nothing is. Your phone floats above your face. Your blanket hovers halfway to the ceiling. And your cat, who was supposed to be asleep at your feet, is now spinning like a confused little satellite. Gravity, the invisible hand that holds everything together, has just quit its job. Number warning: no 2-week notice, just gone. At first, you might think this is awesome. You push off the floor and start floating, doing slow spins, pretending you're in a NASA training video. You're laughing, the cat's meowing in panic, until your coffee mug follows you in midair. Spills everywhere, and now you're sticky and terrified. And that's when it hits you. This isn't fun anymore. Act 1, the first 5 minutes within seconds, chaos. You try to grab your desk, but your desk is floating too. You bump into the ceiling, your laptop hits your face, and somehow your goldfish is now hovering beside you, looking personally offended. Outside, cars are rising. Trees are sliding out of the ground like loose teeth. The mailman floats past your window, still holding a stack of letters, committed to the job to the very end. And you? You're thinking, okay, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just temporary. Spoiler, it's not. Because when gravity disappears, it's not just you that's floating, it's everything. Your house, your city, the oceans, the entire atmosphere. Act 2 Earth unravels. Gravity isn't just what keeps your feet on the ground. It's what holds the ground together. It's the reason the Earth is a planet, not a cosmic glitter explosion. Without it, the very atoms and molecules that make up rock, dirt, and mountains start drifting apart. The oceans, all 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of them, slowly peel off the surface. Imagine a blue skin being lifted off a world. Mountains crumble, rivers twist upward, clouds stop floating and just scatter. You look up, and there it is, a wall of water rising into the sky. A slow-motion tsunami that never ends. And before you can even say, "This is fine," you're surrounded by floating debris, confused seagulls, and a plastic chair from someone's backyard. Act 3. The human panic. Governments, of course, immediately panic. Every world leader is on a Zoom call, also floating, also upside down, shouting at each other. NASA tries to explain what's happening. One scientist says, technically, there's no down anymore. Another says, so where's my sandwich? Planes lose their way because up and down don't exist. Satellites drift out of orbit. GPS stops working. Every compass just spins. And then the atmosphere begins to go. Normally, gravity keeps air clinging to Earth. Without it, the oxygen just leaves. Slowly, invisibly, peacefully. Within hours, breathing becomes difficult. Within days, impossible. You can still see the air, kind of shimmering like fog, leaving Earth in a thin, blue halo. It's beautiful in a we're all doomed kind of way. Act 4. The long goodbye from space. Earth now looks strange. No oceans, no clouds, just a dusty brown sphere surrounded by drifting fragments. Continents crumble like cookies in zero gravity. The moon? It's not orbiting anymore. It just drifts away, slowly, like a balloon you accidentally let go of as a kid. And the sun? We're not orbiting that either. Earth just starts moving in a straight line, off into the blackness. Within weeks, the temperature drops below -100°C. Everything freezes. The last traces of life, fish, trees, humans, all preserved in a slow ballet of drifting ice. It's like a museum of everything that once had weight. Act 5. But wait, what if we tried to fix it? Okay, let's imagine for a second that you somehow survived the first chaos. Maybe you're in a space station, or an underground base that's sealed. Could humanity bring gravity back? Well, not really. Gravity isn't a button you press. It's a property of mass itself, the bending of spacetime. To recreate gravity, you'd need something with mass. A lot of it. Like an entire planet. Technically, if you built a giant artificial sphere the size of Earth and filled it with dense material, you could simulate gravity again. But good luck doing that while you're suffocating in a vacuum with a wrench floating past your head. Act 6. Life without gravity. Let's say somehow, by miracle or madness, you adapt. You and a few others manage to build small, self-contained habitats, floating in the void. You live, but it's not really living. Every step is a push. Every drink is a risk of drowning in a floating blob of water. Every tear you cry floats in front of your face until you wipe it away. And sleep, forget it. You drift, turn, spin, and wake up upside down every time. You start to miss gravity, not just because it kept you stable, but because it gave meaning to movement. It told you which way was home. Act 7. The deeper truth. Gravity isn't just a force. It's the reason there's structure. The reason matter didn't just stay as dust after the Big Bang. Without gravity, stars wouldn't form, planets wouldn't orbit, and you wouldn't be here thinking about how weird your cat looks midair. It's funny, we call gravity a force, but in reality, it's more like a conversation between everything that exists. Every object, every atom, every person, constantly whispering to each other, I'm here, you're there, let's stay connected. Without that pull, everything becomes lonely. The universe stops dancing. Act 8. Humanity's last thoughts. Centuries pass, or maybe just years. It's hard to tell in endless night. The remains of Earth drift through space like a cosmic snow globe. Inside one last surviving station, a single human looks out at the stars. They can still see the fragments of their home, frozen continents, shattered cities, floating nearby. It's peaceful. It's quiet. And then they whisper, maybe gravity wasn't holding us down. Maybe it was holding us together. Act 9. The punchline. So, what if gravity disappeared? You'd float, sure. You'd take some amazing selfies. But within minutes, you'd realize something deep, that the very thing you cursed every time you tripped or dropped your phone was the same thing that kept you alive. So next time you fall on the sidewalk, don't get mad. Just say thanks, gravity, because at least you're still here to hit the ground.